Hello, Cancer Collective, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope that you're having a great day. I hope if you're somewhere where it's been cold, that you're keeping warm. I know that I've been freezing all week. When I go outside, I come back in, it feels like it takes me hours to get warm. So I can't wait for summer. This will be your weekly reading for the week of January 26th through February 1st. During that time, we will have a waning crescent moon. So, as that light of that moon gets darker and darker, that becomes a really good time just to surrender, rest, heal, just a really good time for relaxation. So make sure you're taking that extra nap or getting a really good night's sleep. We'll also have the new moon come around on January 29th. And of course, that's a really good time when you feel energized. It's a good time for new beginnings, a fresh start, a good time to learn a new skill or just start anything new, make new decisions. So think about that. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, Cancer, your overall message for this: your dreams need a practical plan for this week, was what I was saying. Your dreams need a practical plan. Second time I've seen that card for this set of readings. I think Taurus had that card also. So I get the feeling so far from these readings that it's just going to be a very mellow week. I haven't seen anything too extreme in any of the readings, so I like that. I could use a mellow week. All right, as I'm shuffling the tarot, I'd like to remind you to take some time to meditate this week. Of course, with that dark moon energy, it's a good time for that. So if it's not something that you normally do, just take some time to go within, still yourself, quiet your mind, and just kind of explore. So it's a good time of the year to work that into your daily routine if it's not something that you normally do. All right, Cancer, for January 26th through February 1st. Your dreams need a practical plan. All right. Your current situation. All right, I've seen this card quite a bit also I believe in the Taurus reading. If you're a cross watcher and you have a Taurus in your life, you may want to go check that reading out because it's already looking very the same. So interesting. Looks like you're moving towards the future here, moving away from something, and kind of, this could just be a new way of thinking. This could be, you're acting on those resolutions. Maybe you're hitting the gym and you're sticking to that diet and you're doing those things that you kind of set out to do. That we all make these resolutions in January, and you're just hoping that by mid and late January that you're still kind of sticking to your guns. So there are things on your mind that you're moving towards, and that's very positive. Your current situation is just being very stable in your world, your material world. So it looks like your finances are in a good place. Your job is going well. You're just kind of in that very stable place. Fours are like, I like to think of the fours are like the four legs of a table. Just stability is really what fours represent. And we also, oh, never mind. Those were mirroring each other, and I don't know why that struck me, but 6 and 4 might be something you need to look at. 46 at the root of your situation is the Sun card. So again, I'm just seeing that it's just going to be a very mellow week for everybody. I've seen this card also pop out this week. So you're in a good place. This is the happiest card in the deck. You've got some stability. You're kind of thinking of the future, some things that you're moving towards, but you're taking those steps to do that. So very awesome. In your recent past is a Page of Wands. So, and again, go watch the Taurus reading if you have a Taurus in your life. These cards are just seeming very familiar to that reading also. But, our Page of Wands here is, pages are about new paths. This is like a new passion, something that you've taken up, and you're kind of in that exploratory mode. You're learning about it, but you're really excited about it. That's our juveniles of the deck, and that can be just very exciting. That energy is something that lights a fire, but that makes you feel youthful and excited about. So, you're coming you're that's in your recent past. There might be something that you've recently discovered that you're like, oh, this is something I'm very interested in, and you're thinking about the future, and you're doing it from a very stable and very happy place. So that's awesome to introduce something new into your life at this time. What's on your mind is a celebration. So interesting. You could be in planning mode to and here's another four. Um, so I'm a 44 person. I see 44. I see 444. I see 444. Four in all the combinations, and it's one of my favorite numbers. And it is something that when I see it, kind of lets like the universe winking at me, like you're on the right path. You're heading to that right place, and you've got that stability. So, but you've got some kind of celebration on your mind. Maybe there's something you're planning. This could be a wedding that maybe you're involved with. You could be getting married yourself, but it could be that you're, maybe planning your daughter's wedding, or, there's just some sort of celebration or something that's on your mind, and maybe you've got a hand in planning that. So that's pretty exciting. What is just ahead of you is the devil. Interesting. So, this is kind of lack of confidence or fear of failure. And if that's something, if you are involved with planning something, it might be something that you need to take a look at. This can be a card of being, closed-minded. This can be just kind of that self-doubt. That maybe you're just being a little bit negative, or procrastinating something. So, that might be something that you need to examine this week, that when it comes to this, is there something you're putting off, or are you not feeling very confident about your role in some sort of planning of a celebration? Because and take a look at that, and maybe you're just bringing that on yourself. Maybe that's not really true, and you don't need to be insecure about it, because these are false fears. These are things that are, that's the devil card. He's asking you, about these things. Aren't you doubting yourself? Aren't you procrastinating? So maybe take a look at those things, and then try to just, if, now that you're aware of them, you can make those corrections, so that you're feeling confident when you're working on that. In your advice position is, oh, yeah, this is, how did I get here? And because this is in the advice position, this is telling me that you can break free of these thoughts, these things that are on your mind here. I want you to look at her feet. This is, um, it's like much like the temperance card. This is a foot in the emotion, but also a foot in the world. This is like, balancing the logical with the intuitive, and balancing, and thinking, if you're having these self doubts, she's not, this isn't like a chain around her. This is something you can break free of. And if you're asking yourself, oh, how did I get here? This is definitely the think your way out of this. And if it's just about thinking your way out of negative thinking or self-doubt, and you might need to seek some help for that. There might be, some information in a book or in a podcast, or through a friend, through a conversation that you have. But you can get out of that. You can work through this and just turn the page, so that you are, being more confident and more productive. What's beyond your control this week is the Queen of Swords. So, it could be that you just need to say what you feel. Again, if you're in some planning mode here, that you need to speak up, and you need to just say what is on your mind, and be honest about it. So that's your advice there. More swords. After you kind of get over that self-doubt, speak up, and make sure that you're having a say in how things are going, right? What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the King of Cups. So, is it your desire to put forth your knowledge of emotions, and how things work, or are you kind of trying to avoid being that King of Cups? Again, with the self-doubt, that this may be a skill set that you have, that you're completely knowledgeable about how to handle. Let's say if you're planning a wedding, if you have a bridezilla situation, that you know how to deal with that, you know how to manage that, you know the words to say, to maybe calm that person down. And are you trying to avoid using that, or is it your secret desire? So only you can answer when the card is in that position, but it looks like you certainly do have the knowledge to be able to do that, to kind of, just have a really good footing in the emotional aspect of everything that's going on with this. And your outcome situation is the Emperor. So there you are, sitting in that leadership role, after you've kind of conquered these self-doubts, and you're in a good place. Don't doubt yourself. And if your dreams need a practical plan, here's the leader that gets things done in a very practical way. This is the builder. This is the person that can just get stuff done. You're established, you're qualified. You can I always say this: you can make a list, and like this thing and this thing and all these things need to be done. Just get to work on it, because that is your final outcome, is that you are going to grab things by the rein, take a leadership role. Again, you're going to speak. The Queen of Swords, she's, to me, is the most, decisive. That's someone who really speaks their mind. I see that hand out and I think, here, I'm going to tell you how things are going to be. So you can do that. And your outcome position is definitely, with this Emperor, is be the leader. Go ahead and get over, these self doubts and be the leader that you are. What's being hidden from you this week is there's that Temperance. I was talking about this card. They remind me of each other in that it's keeping that one foot in the material and one foot in the emotional world. You're considering emotions, but you're also having to think logically too. And that Temperance is what's hidden from you this week. So that's what you need to seek and find, is that balance, that balance between the very practical and the very emotional. And again, it might be that you're dealing with someone, in a planning situation, and this, whatever the celebration might be, but you're going to be decisive. You're going to take a leadership role, and you're just really going to get things done. So that's pretty exciting. All right, let's get a final message here. Cancer, January 26th through February 1st. Final message here for Cancer. Make better choices. So I think I've seen this card also this week. So this is going to come up again. If you're dealing with these self doubts and everything, make better choices and just make those logical choices. Maybe you are coming from a place, excuse me, of, let me grab my drink real quick. And anytime I'm doing a reading and I get that little frog in my throat, I just think of her, because I think you need to speak up. It's kind of coming through here intuitively with me that maybe you're being a little bit timid. And it's brought on by self-doubt, but you can break free of that, and you can get to a place where you're going to take a leadership role and you're going to just get things done. So I think that's pretty awesome, Cancer. Make sure, Cancers tend to be very passionate when you're involved with something. So go ahead and let that passion shine through, and also make that list, be that leader that knows how to build something, and how to make things happen and get the ball rolling. So Cancer, I wish you the best of luck with the situation, whatever it is. I do appreciate your time here with me today. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a message down below. If you're planning a wedding, it would be interesting for me to hear that. I love to get that sort of feedback. So if you're comfortable sharing, of course, let me know. I do post weekly readings, so come back next week, and we'll see if this message continues or if there's something totally new here for you. Also, if you enjoy my reading style, please like and subscribe. It will help my channel. It's hard being new on YouTube, and it would be great, and I would really appreciate that sort of help from you. So again, Cancer, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.